right-hand corner. We also have a series of intermediate searches that are available under the search menu, and notice how I didn't have to click back. I can just always go to the top of each page. So the compounds, genes, proteins, RNAs, reactions, and pathway searches are all what we call our intermediate searches. They're searches with a little bit more in the way of options in specific categories. So for example, let's take a look at the genes, proteins, and RNAs search. So I can just go down in the menu and click that. And we get this search page. So there are a lot of things about this page. You'll figure them out by experimentation pretty quickly, but you can just put in a protein name here, or you can search or filter a search by all these different options. And each of the different intermediate searches has a series of options like this. So for example, say we didn't actually know what protein we wanted to search for, but we knew some of the things about the protein. So say for example, we know that the protein we're looking for is between 200 and 400 amino acids in length. Say that we also know a little bit about where it is. And we know that it's in the membrane. Okay, so we've chosen between 2 and 400 and membrane, and we could also add in an EC number, well, that might not help, but a protein name, part of a protein name if we only knew a partial name, up there. Now let's submit this query. And here we have a series of results from an intermediate search. We get the gene name, the product name, the location because we cared about the location, and the length because we cared about the length. And you'll notice, or you may not notice, but these are actually sortable menus of results. So for example, I can just click here, and I've now sorted my results by where exactly they are. So, I just looked for stuff associated with membranes in general, but now I've split it out into things that are associated with the inner membrane, things that are associated with the outer membrane. I could have sorted them by length also. I could sort them by name if I wanted to. So the point here is that intermediate searches, which once again include compounds, genes, proteins, and RNAs, reactions, and pathways, are structured searches with a series of options related to the thing you're looking for that will give you your results in a sortable table. They're very handy, and they give you a little bit more power in terms of ways to search for what you're looking for than the quick search does. We definitely encourage you to try the other searches. You may be used to our old ways of searching in the old BioCyc site. You'll find you have a lot more options here, a lot more ways to filter and narrow a search, and a lot more ways to search by features other than things like names. It's very handy. In addition, we have a series of advanced search tools. We have what we call the advanced search. I'll click on this. This takes you to the structured advanced query page. So this kind of search requires that you have a little bit more knowledge about how the database is put together. We've actually had the structured advanced query around for a little while ahead of this site redesign, so you may have already tried it out. It's a little more complex, requires a little more thought. It's that much more powerful, of course. I'm not going to take the time to show a query here, but it's worth playing with once you have a basic idea for how the database is structured. And if you're feeling very adventurous, you can actually switch over to a free-form version that lets you query directly in the query language that the structured advanced query is based on, which is very powerful. And as a little tip, when you do queries with the intermediate query tools, the different individual search options, you'll actually be shown the structure of your query in the advanced query language. So over time you can sort of build a repertoire of searches and start to understand how the advanced search works, if you're interested in doing that. In addition, under the search tools, we have a couple other advanced options. We have the ability to browse within ontologies so that you can actually directly access the ontologies that we've had built into our data for quite a while. And we have the Texpresso Search, which takes you through to a search tool that lets you search within 24,000 papers related to E. coli and 6,000 more abstracts. And again, the Texpresso is for E. coli only, but it lets you search within papers in a very powerful way and get your answers out in their context within the publication, as well as letting you sort by different categories of pre-indexed terms related to the publications. Okay, So with that in mind, let's go back to the BioCyc homepage and do a lightning fast review of what's new. All the navigation tools that you need are up at the top here. We have the home menu. We have the search menu that takes you to the intermediate and advanced searches. We have the tools menu that takes you to the different comparative tools that you may have been used to using before. We have a help menu if you ever need assistance. And over here we have the login, the quick search, and the ability to choose the database that you're querying against. Okay, I encourage you to play around with the new website. Let us know what you think. If you find you've forgotten how some feature works, go over to the introductory webinar series, pull up the specific part, and you'll get a walkthrough using the new website. We hope you like the site redesign. We hope it's more powerful and easier to use. And once again, let us know what you think.